how was everybody's Thanksgiving? I know it's good. Hopefully, it's good. All right. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, so moved.
Second, all in favor?
All in favor?
Yeah.
Current business, Mr. Belver. I see you're, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well, thank you.
And authorizing a lease agreement for the rental of the retail space at the Times Union Center, Josephine Sepisi, DBA, Pizzeria Sapienza.
That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
close to it. Please, you have the floor.
So Sapienza Pizzeria has been a tenant of the building since the building opened in 1990. And they've had a good product, they've done well there, and they've agreed to do a renovation inside their facility that will probably end up costing them around $25,000. They will be paying for that renovation themselves. Their lease calls for a $1 per square foot increase as compared to the prior lease. And it's a 5-year term with a mutual option for 5 years.
Any questions? Motion? Second? Who's got the second? I see. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 2, authorizing a lease agreement for the rental of the retail space at the Times Union Center for the Rosanda Corporation, DBA Pearl Street Convenience.
And this tenant has been a good tenant, has paid his bills on time, he's been current. He's now, and all the tenants now have their own meters, and they are switched over to their own accounts. I apologize for this. But each one has their own electric and gas that's being provided through National Grid now. They're all paid up for what's owed to the county. This tenant has done a good job of staying current. He also has agreed to enhance and improve his space with renovations that he'll pay for. And this is a similar 5-year lease with a $1 per square foot increase and with a 5-year mutual option.
Do you have any questions? No questions?
How many square feet? 750 square feet?
Yeah, it's quite small, the space.
Any other questions?
And it's a tough space because it has a half wall that comes down on an angle. So you really, there's not many businesses that really can operate in that very, very tight quarters. So that 750 square feet is, it's not like it's an open building or an open room. It's really cut up.
Does this seem to be a lot of money for that space?
The per square foot dollar amount is the same as all the tenants are paying, and the same thing with the common area maintenance.
Any other questions? Need a motion? Second? So moved. Okay, Mr. Belver, now we're going to, everyone has to read income statement, so can you please explain income statement, sir?
Okay. So the month of September was down a little bit from what we had originally hoped for. The family show business has been off a little bit. The month of October is a prime example where if we had the Ringling Circus, if the Ringling Circus took place, which was in our budget because we didn't know that they were discontinuing their tour until early in the first quarter. So there was about $80,000 in net operating profit that we would have received from the Ringling Circus, which caused us to have a tough month in October in that category of family shows. But when you look at year-to-date budget versus actual, we're still currently only about $57,000 under budget, which I think we can potentially make up, or we sure hope to make up in the next coming days between now and the end of the year. A lot's going to depend on how well we do with Disney on Ice and Frozen, which is a very, very popular, the most popular Disney on Ice show of all. And a lot of that has to do with the music from Frozen and just the big demand. So ticket sales are very brisk right now. They've started their TV campaign. And depending on how well that show does, it could really make up some ground for us. And we hope to be able to come in at budget by the end of the year.
Do you have any questions? Sam?
Couple of questions. One, when is Disney on Ice?
It's 2 weeks from now.
Okay. And my other question, unrelated to the income statements, I want to say people obviously very happy about the renovations. They look very nice, but I have received one concern. Someone reported on C-Click Fix. I don't know if you're familiar with that app that lives across the street from the Times Union Center, that the bright lights at night and the noise were bothering them. So I'm wondering, is it possible to have it either shut off or dimmed at a certain hour?
So we received a couple of calls
Okay.
similar to that, and so we have actually reduced the amount of hours that the boards are operating. So on non-event days, and even on event days, it starts in the morning at 8:30. So even some of the commuting traffic, we're not actually having the boards on. And part of that is we didn't want to have them on too early because of the tenants that are across the street. And then at night, on an event day, it'll be probably till about 10:15. On a non-event day, it'll be turned off by 9:30. So it'll never go beyond approximately 15 minutes after the end of an event.
Okay, I'm glad that you've already made that accommodation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the noise also, the sound, I think this is important to discuss too, because when we first had them turn the sound on, they were adjusting levels, and it was loud. The first day, it was loud, and they were adjusting it, they were trying to tune it, and then, so it's been way shut back, and you can hear the traffic above the sound coming out of the boards, and that was done on purpose, because the people that are on the sidewalk should be able to hear it, but the people crossed on the other side, we don't want to try to make that be overwhelming for them. So we're concerned about the residents there as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
One of the legislators was inquiring about the arena football, if they could get an update.
Sure. It's good news, actually. They just hired 10 people. They started, 10 new people started today. They have about 5 more that they're going to hire. They are up close to 1,000 season tickets already, which is way more than what they thought they would have by now. There is a name that has supposedly been selected for the team, which I don't even know what it is, but they did a contest. They had 4 different names that it came down to out of approximately 40 different entries, and I'm not sure how they came to those 4. I think it was based on number of votes in that last week, but supposedly they're down to the final one. There is going to be a pick-a-seat event that's going to take place at the arena on December 5th at approximately 5 p.m., which you're all invited to come to and meet the new coach for the team, and meet the owners are going to be there, including Ron Jaworski, who's one of the NFL stars that is one of the owners, and I'm not sure if Dick Vermeil will be there, but many of the owners are going to be there from the Philadelphia Soul, who are also part owners of the Albany team. And the head coach and assistant coach will be there as well. And they've already got plans, they have plans and have announced tryout dates. So the local football stars that may have gone to college, and like this gentleman behind me, and might have an interest in playing, can still have a chance to do that. And we talked about this before, but the players that will be on this team are going to be college players that are really good, that might not have been drafted in the NFL, that are still looking for that opportunity to get into the NFL, because this is one of those avenues. It's actually the only avenue, unless they were asked to come to an NFL tryout camp. This is the only avenue that NFL scouts are going out, besides future NFL draft candidates that may be juniors in college and so forth, sophomores in college. So this is that last chance for a lot of the athletes. And for those of us that remember, arena football stars like Kurt Warner, in the NFL started in the AFL. At one point, he was with the Arizona team. So we're excited about it. We hope to get back to that 10, 11, 12,000 per game, which is what it used to be back in the mid-90s when the Firebirds was here.
Now, when is that date again that you?
December 5th.
December 5th.
Any thoughts about block parties? Every time you talk about arena football, people are like, oh yeah, the block parties.
Yeah, one goes hand in hand,
Okay.
and the owners absolutely want to do that again. And I think that'll help our downtown businesses in a great way, as well as the businesses right in front of the arena. More people come down for the block party way in advance for AFL games. It's hard not to say Firebirds. Actually, Touchdown Eddie Brown's going to be here as well on December 5th, so you'll be able to see the former star of the Firebirds at the Pick a Seat event.
Bob, how many teams are in the league?
Currently, there are 5. I believe that this will be a 6th team, and by 2 years from now, they're expecting to be at 12, and then to 20 within 4 years. So it's going to expand very quickly.
How many were in the league when we were, the Firebird days?
16 at that time.
Okay.
We don't own the turf anymore, right? We gotta.
They're going to own the turf.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
they bring their own.
they'll bring their own,
Oh.
yeah. Which is nice that we don't have to invest in that.
Any other questions?
What happened to Eddie Brown? Where is he now?
I'm not sure. So somebody had mentioned that he was actually at a school, and I don't know if he's coaching or, not sure exactly.
In Carolina, South Carolina?
I heard down there somewhere. So unfortunately, I haven't followed him. But it would be good to catch up with him again, when he comes up.
I have a motion? Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Bob, thank you.